All right, good morning, everybody. I'm JD Sumner, the Public Affairs Officer for the City of Portsmouth, and we're grateful that you could join us today. We're going to turn this over to our elected officials here in just a second, but before I do, I want to say thank you, welcome you all here. To our leaders, we have Representative Ms. Bohan from Wavy, right? Brianna Fallon from 13, right? And Ms. Drake from 3. I'm sorry, Jessica, I'm sorry, Davis. I don't know why I said Drake. Davis, thank you, for 3. And oh, well, welcome. Glad to have you here. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to step out of the way, let the important people jump in. Let me know if you have any questions afterwards. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I come to you today as the mayor of the city of Portsmouth, as a father, as a grandfather, as someone who cares deeply about the safety and security of the citizens of the great city of Portsmouth. First of all, I want to thank all of our law enforcement and our city leadership that is standing with us here today. We are all committed to ensuring that every citizen has a safe environment. Thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate all of your support. I want to begin by speaking directly to the families that are hurting right now. As you know, over the last probably 10 or 15 days, we have had an increased amount of violence, particularly gun violence and deaths, primarily to young people in the city of Portsmouth. Our hearts are with those who have their loved ones and with the child who was injured. I'm not sure you are aware, but we had this past weekend an incident where another young person died and a 5-month-old child was injured in that incident. That is absolutely unacceptable. But we want to let those families know we are thinking about them and praying for them. No words can ease this pain, but we want our community to know that Portsmouth grieves with you. What we have seen in recent weeks is deeply troubling. Violence affects more than just individuals involved. It shakes families, neighborhoods, and our entire city. I want to be clear. This is not something that we will accept, nor will we excuse or ignore. Public safety is our highest priority. We are working closely with Chief Jenkins, Sheriff Moore, and all of our Portsmouth Police Department as they actively investigate and help in these incidents and pursue those who are responsible. Our officers are doing critical work every day, and they have the full support of this city council, this city leadership team. At the same time, safety is not achieved solely through law enforcement. It requires partnership between city, our police department, our community partners and organization, and the residents themselves. If you know something, if you saw something, if you heard something, please come forward. Your information matters, and believe me, it will save lives. I want to be clear. Public safety, again, is our top priority, and we will continue to work closely with our chief and all of those involved. And we will thoroughly investigate these matters until we bring those who committed these crimes to justice. That is our commitment. Today, we're here to be transparent, to share what we can, and to reaffirm our commitment to keeping Portsmouth safe. We will continue to communicate openly and work tirelessly on behalf of all of our residents. And I want to close by saying this. For all of our citizens out there who think that they can't make a difference, now is the time for you to make a difference. We will have other speakers come up to talk about how you can specifically help and some of the specific things we are doing to improve public safety in our city. But make no mistake, we will not accept this kind of behavior, and we will not accept losing our children. That is a matter that we all will work hard to improve upon and eradicate. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. I want to echo the Mayor's words and begin by expressing my deepest condolences for the families affected by these recent acts of violence. These are real people, real families, suffering real losses. We will never lose sight that this affects more than just the family of the victims, but actually the family of the shooters also. From an operational standpoint, I want to let every person in Portsmouth know that the city is fully engaged. Our police department is actively investigating, and we will ensure that they have every resource, every coordination, and every support needed to bring this to justice. Beyond enforcement, the city is also focused on prevention. We need long-term solutions. That means working across departments, strengthening partnerships with our community organizations, and making sure that our strategies are not just driven by data and experience, but also by what we hear from our citizens and our residents. Community cooperation is essential. Let me say that again, because this is really important. Community cooperation is essential. Many cases are not solved just through technology and great police work, but through information shared by people who care about their neighborhoods and about our city. When residents and law enforcement work together, we are stronger and we are safer. We understand that incidents like this bring high concern among our citizens. We will always respond with urgency, transparency, and resolve. And that is exactly what we're doing with this situation. I personally appreciate the public's engagement in this, and we will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available and appropriate to share. I'm going to ask Chief Jenkins if he will come forth at this time and provide a few words and maybe some updates on where we are with these cases. Chief?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Good morning. My name is Stephen Jenkins. I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Portsmouth. Today I'm going to address several serious shooting and homicides that we've had to start our 2026 year. The truth is that all of these incidents are both violent, traumatic, and unacceptable. And I want to be clear throughout this conversation. This type of violence, this type of non-compassion for mankind, for your sisters and brothers is unacceptable in this city and anywhere. And we together must do all we can to ensure that we don't normalize this type of behavior. I want to start by talking about the first incident that took place, our first homicide of the year. It was January 6, 2026 at approximately 10:30 a.m. We had an individual that was dropped off at Maryview Hospital. That individual had a gunshot wound to his abdomen. Upon further investigation, it was determined that it started at a dispute in the 3400 block, in the 3400 block of, and I'll provide that a little bit later, my apologies. Started as an escalation of a dispute between two individuals who lived in the same house. During that time, those individuals began getting into a physical altercation, and at some point in time, a gun was introduced. A struggle ensued over that firearm. Eventually it was retrieved, and one individual, Mr. Gallister, was shot and killed. Interviews for the suspect involved with that have been completed, and that incident is still under investigation. The second homicide of the year occurred in the 1100 block of Victory Boulevard on January 21st at approximately 7:09 p.m. This started as a home invasion. Individual kicked in the front door of that residence and opened fire, shooting and killing Mr. Clark, Javon Clark. Individuals within that home at some point in time returned fire. Moments later, we received a call through our 911 communication of an individual suffering from a gunshot wound in the 1000 block of Channing Avenue. That individual was transported to an area hospital to receive treatment. At this time, we are not looking for any suspects related to that incident. The next shooting that occurred on the interstate this past Thursday. And I want to thank my partners from the Virginia State Police for being present. This incident took place on I-264 at Frederick Boulevard. We had a vehicle traveling eastbound when it was fired upon by an unknown suspect vehicle. That vehicle crashed and the occupant of that vehicle was pronounced dead on scene. Virginia State Police is leading the investigation. Preliminary investigations in this revealed that this potentially was a shootout that took place. However, we're still working to confirm that information. We're providing all the support we can to Virginia State Police during this investigation, and we'll continue to work with them until we bring this case to completion. Our most recent shooting and homicide took place this past Saturday, January 24th at approximately 12 p.m. in the 3800 block of Town Point Road. We had two individuals shot, one deceased, Mr. Keontae Johnson, 19, and a 5-month-old. This appears to be an ambush-style shooting where we had individuals laying in wait as this vehicle pulled up and they opened fire on two vehicles, striking Mr. Johnson and the 5-month-old. The 5-month-old was taken to CHKD, has had at least one surgery, and at this time is expected to recover from their injuries. Those individuals involved in that were seen fleeing the area. We have released a photo of those individuals as they navigated through several backyards. I want to also make the public aware that the mother of Mr. Johnson was present and in the vehicle when it was fired upon. I want to thank the community in regards to this particular incident especially, because over the past weekend, we've received a tremendous amount of information from you all. And we're working right now to track down every single lead as they come in. I do ask that if you have any additional information, if you have any camera information, if you think you might know this individual, please send that information to us. As I close my remarks, I want to be kind of poignant in what I say. We're using every investigative tool at our disposal to bring these cases to closure. We're working with our partners, and I want to thank Sheriff Moore for being here as well in support and solidarity as we work to safeguard this community. I thank again the community for stepping up and taking part and making sure that the information is getting to us. But again, we continue to need all of the information, video, names, vehicles, timelines. Even if you think that is insignificant, send it to us anyway and let us make that determination. My prevention message in this is simple. When we have guns and disputes, it ends in tragedy every single time. And we have to continue to work to ensure that these type of things do not happen. One of the things that we've been working with in our city is a community violence intervention program that includes violence interrupters that are tasked with going out and mitigating these type of situations in our community. but we need everyone to be a part of that. When you know things that are happening in your community, the community sees it first, well before law enforcement gets involved. And if you know something, say something early so we can try to get in front of these things. I continue to do this, unfortunately, over and over as a call to action. The only way that this is going to happen is not going to be from the stance of the police department. It's going to be from the stance of everybody uniting together to solve these issues. I want to thank everybody for coming this morning. I want to thank my fellow department heads for standing as we want to show that as a city, all of us are actively engaged in addressing the issues and concerns of our city and our citizens. And I'll take any questions.
You mentioned that the last shooting appears to be an ambush. Are there any motives that you might have been able to figure out this far?
No, ma'am. At this point in time, we have not been able to determine any type of motives. We've received a tremendous amount of speculation. We've received some information that we're still tracking down from leads. Nothing that I would like to put out this morning as it would like to protect the integrity of the case.
Do you have the ID for the 264 shooting? Do we have an identification on the victim in that?
Yeah, so we do believe we know who this individual is. However, we're still working with the medical examiner to determine the actual identification of that individual before we release that individual's name. We hopefully will have that sometime today, and as soon as we get it, we'll make sure we update the release.
Are there any significant leads with the shooting, most recent shooting?
We've received a tremendous amount of leads that we hope will bring this case to a close rather quickly. But again, nothing that I will put out today. As we get information, we will continue to try to update the public. But again, we ask that any information that the public has, again, no matter how insignificant they think it may be, we ask for that information. And again, if we know that this is related to something else, we need that information as well.
The big thing that kind of everybody here is talking about is the importance of the community getting involved. You mentioned the youth intervention program. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit more and how people can get involved?
Yeah, so a little over a year ago, we started with our initiative, Portsmouth United. And Portsmouth United was exactly what it's intended to be. It's intended to bring together all stakeholders who have vested interest in this city and making this city better. And it's everyone from clergy to nonprofits to our violence interrupters that we have within the city. And those individuals, again, are going to be deployed to several neighborhoods across the city. They do not work for the police department. Let me be clear for that. They are actually out as advocates for the community. And again, the hope is that they can get out and intertwine with these situations that fester within the community sometimes and see if they can't mentor or monitor or sometimes diffuse these situations before they become more volatile. Sometimes the biggest thing that we want to put out is give yourself a moment. The best thing that you can do from any dispute is to walk away. That's the most gangster thing I've ever seen, is a person walk away from a dispute. Give yourself a second, because if you give yourself a second, you may have saved not only your life, but somebody else's life. And I think that's important that we put that out.
And you mentioned that program has been around for about a year now. Have you noticed any difference since implementing that?
So what I will say, ma'am, it's unfortunately that tomorrow I'll be doing a update on crime for the quarter. And what I can say is last year we had a record low, a 44% reduction in homicides for our city. And I attribute that not only to the hard work of the police department and the community, but also to those interrupters that were out, to those partners in Portsmouth United, to all of the initiatives that we've been putting in place to be able to kind of to look at this problem from as vast a solution as possible. So I would like to say that it is helping, but obviously there is data that we need to collect to be able to back that up.
Just had a couple of questions, specifics on the Town Point Road one.
The mother was not hurt. However, she did receive some glass fragments in her wrist from shattering of the glass.
And the baby, was the baby actually, I know you said struck, so actually shot?
Yes, ma'am. The baby was actually struck by a bullet.
I
Yes.
wasn't sure if it
Yes,
was
ma'am.
damage from glass or whatever.
No, ma'am. Baby was struck by a bullet in the lower extremities. Again, taken to CHKD for treatment. To my knowledge, had at least one surgery which was successful, and we're expecting the child to make a full recovery.
Are you able to say the relation?
It family. It is family.
We didn't really touch on it in the press conference, but kind of transitioning to the two girls still missing out of Portsmouth. What's the latest on them? We heard that maybe Forever Scott surrendered. Is that true?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the end of it.
Forever Scott, who is one of the two girls who are still missing out of Portsmouth from the behavioral center. Can you speak on the latest information that you all know? We heard that maybe Forever Scott surrendered.
So what I can tell you is that we have recovered at least one of the juveniles related to that, which is we're thankful for. We do have two juveniles that are still have not been located. We have received information again from the community on potential sightings and things of that nature that we're continuing to track down. We're continuing to work with the facility in which they left from as they continue to provide leads to us. So this is still a open investigation. We are very active in trying to bring these young ladies home, or at least find their whereabouts. And again, someone has seen them. They are most likely in communication with some family member. If that family member knows where they are, we appreciate if we just get some information to know that they're safe, is what the information that we would like to have. And again, we'll continue to release that information. It was put out via alert through the state police. And again, if anybody has that, what that alert does is they're listed nationally. So if anybody comes across them, we'll be notified.
Were all of these incidents kind of individualized, or should the public be worried, especially with the latest shooting?
So we don't have anything that ties these shootings together. We're working right now to determine and ensure that whether they are or aren't. If we determine that they are and it's a need for a public safety statement, we will make one at that time. I apologize. I wanted to get there.
I just wanted to clarify, so you said that Mr. Johnson was in a car when that car was shot at, and that his mother was also in the car. Was the mother driving? Or?
She was a passenger in the car, and again, I believe he was outside of the car when he took fire. He actually attempted to flee and collapsed a short time later.
And so the shooters were from another car that was passing by?
No, ma'am. They actually were outside of the vehicle. From what we know, that they were there waiting for the car to pull up.
Okay, so I'm just trying to kind of construct it. So the car was waiting, well, shooters were waiting. A mother pulls up, mother in the car.
There were two vehicles,
Two separate
vehicles,
So, but
family in both vehicles.
family in both vehicles, and both those vehicles were on the victim's side?
Both vehicles on the victim's side, correct.
They were passing by. So was the fire?
They actually pulled up into the apartment complex to go into the apartment complex.
Okay, and so the 5-month-old was struck while inside of the vehicle?
Correct.
And in terms of the police homicides that we've seen in the past, like 25 years or so, would you say that that's unusual, like within 1 month?
Every homicide is unusual. And again, I want to make sure I get this clear. We're not going to normalize this type of behavior, okay? It is unacceptable for any life to be lost in this city. Unacceptable. This old notion that we must accept because this is Portsmouth and all of that is unacceptable. And I want to make sure that is clear. It is not normal for people to pull and shoot guns and kill each other.
Just to clarify with my last question, I guess I was trying to ask if that last shooting, was that isolated? I know you
I'm sorry, ma'am. I apologize. Can you start from the beginning for me?
Yeah, of course. So the last shooting that happened with the 5-month-old and 9-month-old,
Yeah.
is that believed to be isolated? Because I know you mentioned that they were ambushed.
So again, we're working to determine all of the mitigating factors with that. There are a lot of dynamics that go with that, and obviously it is a possibility that it's a part of something larger, but it wouldn't be good for me to put out that and say that it is when I don't know. So I would just say we're working to determine all of the facts surrounding that, and if it becomes something additional, we'll put that out.
Sir, I hope to just clarify. By neutral, I meant based on how the numbers are tracking, does that mean that we're tracking the monster? Does that mean that the city, in a way, feels as though it's slipping from the efforts that you guys have put in so much?
Well, again, I won't say that it's slipping. I won't say that it's out of the normal. Again, we've always had levels of violence throughout Hampton Roads and in the city of Portsmouth. Again, as we continue to work with our partners, as we continue to roll out these initiatives, again, there is a part of this that we have to rely on the community because, again, this just didn't start on that Saturday. It started, again, from a conversation, a beef, a social media post, a video, a troll, all of these other things that happened, and somebody knew about that well before we got to a point where we had individuals lie in wait to take someone's life.
And has Portsmouth United been impacted at all by federal funding? I know that federal funding was particularly for localities in response to community violence issues.
So yes, we have experienced some loss in funding. However, we're continuing to trend along with the things of priority within the city. Again, we have a supportive city council, supportive city manager as we look to try to address these things. Again, we're looking at everything possible to address these issues.
One more question with the missing girls. They went missing around 7 a.m. on the 18th of January, but it was reported around 5:30 that they were missing in the media. I guess the question is, why did it take so long to let the public know that these girls are missing?
So first and foremost, we got to be clear about the conversation of missing. These young ladies ran away, okay? And so again, at some point in time, they left a secure facility. In normal circumstances, we always get out, canvass the area as we would with our police officers, with our detectives, trying to locate, go in places that we normally would or they might go to attempt to locate them. When those things have become exhausted, then we start to reach out to make sure that we educate the public these individuals are out and missing. So again, it's not unusual for law enforcement to do that. Again, unfortunately, we have people that go missing every single day. Usually we recover them within 12 to 24 hours. Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this kind of concludes our presentation. I want to thank some folks, Chief Nestor Mangabet, who's our fire chief, for being here as well. He's a part of that public safety apparatus. And I want to again thank our support team from the state police who is here with us to work alongside to help solve these crimes that have been committed. But I do want to reiterate, thank you, Manager Carter. Thank you, Chief Jenkins, and all of our leadership here for your support and all the work you do to keep our city safe. But make no mistake about it as you leave here today, Portsmouth is committed, and we will use every available resource and tactic to bring those to justice who commit crimes in our city. Crime isn't acceptable in Portsmouth. And I reiterate to what the chief said, the stuff you hear about Portsmouth, we don't want to hear that. We don't hear that anymore. Portsmouth is a proud city. We're a city that loves our people, and we're going to take care of them 100%. Thank you, and have a great day.